What's up, survivors? Welcome back to another episode of the Beginner's Guide series. Okay, so if you guys are new to the channel, I'm Lulu. This is my first official guide series playthrough of any kind on this channel. I just started about a week and a half ago. I figured with the Age of War, I'd finally dive into Conan a little bit more seriously with trying to help out new players or returning players coming back to the game. And yeah, not going to be as flashy as some people out there, but you know what? Hopefully these guides are informational as possible. Now, I know there are going to be some out there that just straight up don't like these guides, but please keep in mind, because I've already had a few people bring this kind of stuff up. First and foremost, try to keep the comments clean and respectful as possible. I've already had to remove a couple of comments from a few of my videos. I do not tolerate... well, for lack of better words, I don't tolerate, dickassery. All right. If you're going to be a smart ass, take it somewhere else. Okay. These guides are strictly for new players and returning players that are looking for serious information or possibly help. If this is, you find it completely unhelpful in your cause, you're more than welcome just to move on. You don't have to leave a rude comment. Okay. Because it will get removed. So at the end of the day, nobody's going to see it. So it was a waste of your half a second of typing that you had to do to say it. So just wanted to make my stance on that. I don't put up with that crap. Anyways, great note to start this episode on, but I had to get it out just for future references. We're all here to have fun. We're just here to play the game. Everybody has their own opinion. All right. So moving forward. So in today's episode, I want to cover Taming, everything down from the measly little fawn all the way up to getting your thrall and potentially a horse and a mount. All right, so here we go. So we got to start off with getting stuff built. Now, I don't have anything built for this. So if we go in here, I already have it clicked on because I did do a little bit of farming behind the scene. So, but before we jump into actually placing the stuff, let's look at how to learn it. Knowledge. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a derp moment. I'm like, where's that at again? So you're going to go under knowledge. You're going to go to survival. You're going to scroll down all the way till you see Thrall. Okay, so Thrall Taker. So you're going to want to learn Thrall Taker. You learn that at level 10 and it costs 3 points. This will teach you the Lesser Wheel of Pain, the truncheon, the fiber bindings, as well as the thrall pot, which in my opinion has absolutely no use right now outside of its preserving abilities to preserve food and stuff like that. Spoil timers. The thralls don't really use it like they're supposed to, but hopefully they actually address this issue eventually because it's been a problem for years. The next thing we're going to cover is at level 13, which is Apprentice Tamer. So the Apprentice Tamer teaches you the animal pen, the feeder box, the small animal pen, as well as a bunch of different shade foods that, well, let's be completely honest, not very many people actually use the shade food because it's like a 1 to 2% difference, and I've always had good luck with normal food. All right, the next thing you're going to want to learn is at level 15. So this covers 10, 13, and 15. So at level 15... Oop, wrong button. There we go. At level 15, you can learn Stable Master, which teaches you how to make the stable for horse taming. All right, so one of the other reasons why I wanted to wait until we were close to 20 is because you can't ride a horse or a rhino until level 20. You have to have Novice Saddle Maker. So if you're like, oh, we're going to go out and we're going to go get a mount and we're level 10, or, well, we can't do that till 15. Okay, so you get to 15 and then you're like, sweet, we got a horse. And then, you log out and log back in. Maybe you got the level 16 and then you realize you can't ride the horse. Well, you have to be level 20. So this will help you plan ahead. So it's always good to look at something, be like, okay, what level do we need to be to make a saddle for something? Then you look that up and you say, oh, it's 5 levels higher than taming a horse. Well, in that case, I can hold off on getting a horse because getting a horse comes after taming your first pet and even way after getting your first thrall. So You're going to want to be level 20, and that teaches you the Warhorse Saddle Light, the Saddle Work Table, the Rhino Travel Saddle Light, as well as the, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, Track and Saddle. It's a specialized saddle that came from something I can't remember. They've been adding so much stuff lately that even some of the old stuff I can't forget when it got added. All right. Okay, so oh yeah, this there's also this saddle. There's the Midnight Saddle right here as well. By the way, because it is the today is the 2nd of July, which means you guys have 4 days left. If you're watching this after the 6th of July, I'm sorry, but if you're watching this before the 6th of July, which it should be out, don't forget to go over to Twitch, go to the Conan channel, and watch anybody streaming the game with Twitch drops turned on. Make sure that you have your Conan connected to your Twitch so that you can earn Twitch drops, because right now you can get the Midnight Saddle from Twitch drops if you watch somebody for an hour. Well, that, and I believe the Rock Nose figurine. Yeah, this one right here. So yeah, this is a lot of oh yeah, this is just the ancestry stuff. This is like all the stuff that I've either bought or learned through doing battle passes or from the bazaar. So yeah. All right, so now that we got all that covered, first thing first. So once you've learned all of those, you're going to come in here to crafting stations. You're going to scroll all the way down to companions. So underneath companions, you'll have all of your, well, not all of them, but you'll have a majority of all of your stuff for taming. So now if you're seeing this right here, this is something I got out of the cash shop, basically, the bazaar. So you can ignore that. It's basically a different version of the lesser wheel. So for the lesser wheel of pain, we need 200 wood, 200 stone, 50 iron bars, and 50 twine. So before we do that, let me get my tools out here real quick. I'm actually going to do that, get my torch off my bar. We're going to come out here, we're going to clean up these stones real quick before they spawn back in again. So and some of these trees while we're at it too, so we can make a little bit of room for our stuff. We can get our first things. Okay, and then we're gonna come over here. We're gonna pull out this hatchet. There's an imp over there chasing a shellback. Awesome, awesome. Get rid of these trees right here. These little smaller ones like this take fewer hits. It's usually 2 to 3. But the bigger ones take anywhere between 4 to 5. Okay, well that one took 6. Whatever, made me look like a liar. Alright, that's good enough for me. Alright, so let's run back inside, and we gotta grab the twine, and I believe we also have to grab the metal. Yes, we need to grab the metal. Now, I did do some metal runs behind the scenes, so I do have a little bit of extra metal now. So I'm gonna grab 50 metal. Alright, and we're getting a little overweight, and I need to grab twine. I also did go out with a sickle and get a bunch of fiber. We have more. I actually have more than this. I got close to 1,000. Was it 20 or 50? Nah, I'll just grab 50 because I can't remember. Alright. It was 50. Alright, we're good. I knew one of the two would be right. Alright, so we're going to come out here and we're going to place down our Wheel of Pain, or our Wheel of Taming. We're just going to place it right there, and there we go. There's our first way of getting our thralls. So as if you open it up, you can see you need, well, you can use any food, but I highly recommend you use gruel. So to make gruel, you have to have a campfire or a large campfire. And then you're going to take fiber and seeds. My door keeps shutting on me. To make gruel. But before we do that, we're going to make the animal pen. So I'm going to need to get my hands on some more twine. So we need 20 for the animal pen. I just grabbed it all. I don't want all of it. I just want 20. Okay, if you're curious how I'm doing that, I'm gonna show you guys here real quick. I'm holding shift and then I grab the item to pick it up and then I drop it in my inventory and it'll let you choose the amount. So just in case somebody was curious to how that worked, that's how that works. All right, so we're gonna come back over here. We're gonna go to the animal pen, and then animal pens are big, okay? Unless you decide to use the small animal pen, okay? So the small animal pen you can find right here. But for this video's sake, we're gonna use the small one because this isn't a very large spot. So we're gonna use the small one for this. So I'm gonna come over here, and I think I'm gonna put it right around, you know what? I might actually end up making a platform. You know, maybe we'll do that. Kind of. I can always move it later. Nah, you know what? We'll move it later. So we'll just bring it over here. All right, so for now, we're just gonna put the small one down. Press, not F. Can I please stop doing, damn it. 3, there we go. So the small animal pen right here, as you can see, you can put only one animal in the small pen. And then you have inventory for food and stuff like that. So animal, fiber, time, big animal. Well, fiber is just a symbol to show you. Not everything takes fiber. You can look up on the wiki for all the different resources needed for each specific one. All right, so we're going to open this back up and we're going to go to the stable. So for the stable, you need 15 bricks, 10 shaped wood, and 10 twine. Now we have everything but the bricks and wood in our inventory, which I did preemptively make some wood. So we need 10 shaped wood. There we go. And then we need bricks. Now I have more than enough bricks because I went out and did a big farming run. So we have about 800 bricks. So we need 15 bricks. There we go. So we're gonna come out here. It's starting to get to be nighttime. All right, we're gonna hit 3 so we can grab our stable. I'm actually gonna hold shift and kind of sink it into the ground a little bit. Doesn't need to be that high up. There we go. So we can put our animal pen and our stable right next to each other. There they go. So we've got our single animal pen as well as our single horse stable. And the same thing works here. You just put a horse, food, time, and boom, done. Now you can only have one creature in here at a time, even if they're full grown, which means you can't come over here and try to throw another one in while you still have one in there. I need to put up some torches. Let me grab some fiber here real quick. Whoop, wrong button. Some fiber here real quick. All right. I will bring you guys back in a minute after I get some light up around here. All right, guys, we are back. I put some torches up during the nighttime just to make it a little bright around here if it's ever dark in the middle of a record. Sun is coming up right now. It is dawn. Okay. I decided to wait. All right, so we got all this stuff down. We got some lights. We got our animal and our stable pen up. Next thing I wanted to cover is making gruel. So to make gruel, you'll need seeds and fiber. So as soon as I hit this button, it's going to craft it really fast. But as you can see, you make 10 gruel for every craft. So I'm just going to take that out so it doesn't craft anymore. So that gives us 100 gruel. Oh, yeah, it's already off. Okay, cool. It was making it sound like it was on. All right, now gruel is kind of like your basic food for everything. Like you can eat it yourself. Your thralls will eat it. It actually will give them 6 health every like 3 to 5 seconds or something like that. It is the basic health food, and taming food is the easiest thing to make in the game because it just takes fiber and seeds. So it is extremely simple to do. So we're going to take that out. And then we're going to bring it over here. We're going to take it and we're going to stick it right down here in the bottom row of our wheel. Okay. So now here's the thing. Now you might not have all this up right away, but let's say you got your wheel down, you're ready to go out. Now you need to get a tool to knock out an NPC. Well, how do you do that? Because you can't just walk up to it and knock them out with a hatchet. Or a club, for matter. Well, actually, kind of. You can't do it with a mace, but you can do it with a club. So that brings me to the next thing we need to go over is the truncheon. So the truncheon is the weapon that you're going to use. Now the truncheon takes a little bit of fiber, some twine, and some leather. You're also going to need the fiber bindings, which takes twine and fiber to make. So we're going to grab a little bit of this fiber. Sorry, I thought somebody was at the door. A little bit of this fiber here real quick. So we're just going to take 30 of it for now. And then I'm going to come over here to my bench. Do I have any leather? I do, but I don't think I have enough. I grab a little bit out of here. Oh, damn, I actually don't have a lot of leather. We need to make some leather. Might have to do that later. Yeah, definitely gonna have to do that later. We're uber low on leather. All right. So, gotta open your inventory up. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna make one binding. So that gives us our binding because you're gonna need this to drag them back, kicking and screaming, and you're gonna need one truncheon. Now you can repair these out on the fields as long as you have the materials to make it on you. So if you have branches, fiber, and some leather, you can easily repair these out in the field. And these ones you just need twine and fiber, so you just need fiber. So the only thing you have to carry on you is leather if you want to repair your truncheon. All right, so we're going to take our truncheon and we're going to put it right down there in our hotbar for now. So you can see this is your truncheon. This is your KO weapon. It does a very, very low health damage, but it does extremely high concussive damage is what you're looking for. Now, luckily, we live near a couple of exiles right there. So we're going to go knock them out real quick. And I'm going to show you how to get your first thrall. So you're going to want to be careful. You don't want too much, but at the same time, you don't want to be too much of a chicken. Now, it looks like we got ourselves a archer and a crafter. So, yep, we do. We got an armor. And you see that white bar go down is the bar that goes down for their concussive damage.
Enemies approaching.
And there we go. A matter of fact, that's... the mod has been fixed. Oh, he fixed his mod finally. Okay, yeah, that's Havoc's UI mod. It was not working because he had disabled it. But yeah, so basically, it's going to look a little different. I think without the mod activated, it's supposed to be a little yellow bar. I'm so used to seeing the yellow bar lately that I didn't even notice he fixed his mod. He finally updated it. I shouldn't say fixed it. He finally fixed the problem that he was having with something else, that he had to disable the targeting part of the mod. But that was the mod. All right, so we actually have 3 here, which is inconvenient, but I am going to grab one of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this truncheon, and a little bit of a tip. Don't try to take the item from here and drop it. Take the item from here and swap it. So if you take the item off your hotbar, you'll swap them. And we're going to grab the Exile Fighter first. Now, this is the big part. If you guys are familiar, if you're old school and coming back, this is going to seem very, very weird right away. I have not changed the settings on the server for taming, and there is a critical reason why. So now watch, see, it's already turning white the second after I did it. Look how fast that's going up. This is default now, by the way, guys. Thralls tame extremely quickly now. Like, I believe a tier 4 Thrall takes like 4 to 6 hours now without a taskmaster in the bench. That is default. A tier 3 takes like 45 minutes to an hour. A tier 2 takes like 30 minutes. And a tier 1 takes like 5 minutes now. It is insane. And they did this because of the damage balances. Thralls die a lot easier now. On official servers, that's debatable. Because my Thralls don't even die that easy. And I play with 3 times the normal damage settings. So... as you can see, he is taming extremely quick. So I can tame all 3 of these on one bench before they wake up. Yeah, that's insane. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to let this go. And I will bring you guys back after we have all 3 of them done, which should be like 10 minutes. Well, this is embarrassing. Even though I was in render range, they're not showing up. So unfortunately, this is where a problem with single player that I don't like comes in. When you leave render range to try to fix something that you knocked out, they might still be on the ground, but these guys will now be respawned. So yeah, that kind of sucks. This is actually one of the biggest This is one of my biggest reasons why I do not like playing single player. Is because of the respawn rendering. It just doesn't feel natural. Like if I leave an area for 5 minutes, like leave the area for 5 minutes, I don't want to have to come back to everything I just worked on for the last 20 minutes just being back. And if you're in a large like enemy compound, like as soon as you go all the way to the back, the front renders out and then respawns instantly. So the second you're running back, everything's already back again. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's nice in some sense, but like if you're playing like hardcore PvP servers where people are just like constantly killing each other, that could be a problem and you need to tame quickly. But nah, like in a single player and all that stuff, I don't see why. All right, so I have to go out here and find, like, I'm gonna despawn these guys or re-render these guys real quick. There's a spot I believe up here as well where there should be some people, if I remember, or maybe it was over. Nah, we'll find people. All right, let's see here. Hi, imp. Bye, imp. The power of iron. Literally jump from stone to iron and just giving myself 10 points. One-shotting imps. Yeah, that's all we're going to find up here is imps. I'm going to have to jump down here to find some more exiles. Okay, he got taken out by that. Now, I could cross the river over there. There's a few over there on that island. There used to be a camp right here, but it's gone now. And I don't know why they got rid of it. That was a really good spot to get an early game, like, Exile Dancer. Used to be right there. Way back in the day. Rock fell. This is another nice place to build a base. Up off the ground. No, there's some exiles right over there. There we go. Ooh, there's a red imp down there. You know what? I'm going to grab it real quick. Red imps are really good for getting volatile glands. So these guys, the red-skinned ones, they like to explode. But they also have the highest chance of dropping volatile glands, which you'll need later. There we go. We got one, unfortunately. You'll need them later for all kinds of stuff. Specifically, like you can make for making exploding like grenade type weapons, as well as. Now these are just exiles, so just gonna literally knock them right out the second I get up here. Let's see who's up here, because I already finished taming the one guy. So we got the blacksmith. Ooh, blacksmith. Oh, that's a tier 2 blacksmith. Get rid of this guy real quick. Actually, I want to take this blacksmith. Oh, he's stuck. Oh no, he's stuck.
Enemies approaching.
There we go. I'm actually gonna take the blacksmith. So all I'm doing is I like walk up to him. When you see it show up like this, you just hit your E key, your interaction key, and it just, as long as you got the binding in your hand, it'll just grab them. I'm actually gonna grab this tier 2 blacksmith and take them back. Now again, my gear, my settings, everything are official and normal, so the damage I'm taking, that is based off of everything default. I haven't changed anything. Just my stats, my attributes, as you can see, strength 10, vitality 10, my authority is only 4, and my expertise, like this, as long as medium armor is like a massive jump. That's why you should just go for it. And then if you want the rolling ability, like the big long rolls of light armor or no armor, just increase your agility, you know, get your agility up. But medium armor is just massive leaps and bounds. That was my dog. All right. So I'm going to run this back and I'll bring you guys back when this guy is done. All right, guys, bring you guys back here, showing the we got our level 2 blacksmith on the bench, and as you can see, this is the default speed. It is going up in real time. I mean, if you guys don't believe me that this is the speed that it goes at now, I know there might be some skepticals out there, but I will show you. I have my settings for taming on normal. It should be under crafting, actually. Crafting. Hello. Yeah, see? Everything's on normal. I haven't touched it. The only thing I have down is the crafting time. And that's just to make, like, you know, that doesn't affect Thralls at all. That was the Thrall crafting time is the one you guys. That was that. So it's all on normal settings. Pets are all on normal. They reduced it drastically for Age of War. All right, we're back. That didn't take long at all. Like, that is insane. So we got our tier 2 blacksmith, and there's that other fighter over there. Like, this is crazy. So yeah, what you guys are seeing right here, again, this is if you have the ability to use mods, I highly recommend you get the Havoc UI mod. It just makes certain things like this so much nicer. It's so nice. Like, it's just the cleanliness of the mod, just the things that it does. It'd be nice if they'd added something like this as default into the game, but you know, it is what it is. All right, so blacksmith. So this is our blacksmith tier 2. We're going to put him on the bench, and there he goes. He is going to work. What the crafters will do is they will slightly reduce the crafting time for things being done in your workbenches. And I believe once you get like a tier 4, I'm not sure if the tier 3s did this or not, but I'm pretty sure the tier 4s did. There are like a reduction on the amount of resources used to make a certain item. And then later on, when you start getting certain tier 4s, you can specialize. So you can get specialists, like a specialist type. Like some will increase like the weapon's damage when they craft it. Some will increase like weapons armor when they craft, or not weapons armor, but weapons durability. Like the same thing with the armor, you can get specialists that will increase the durability or the armor, the actual armor of the armor. That's a tongue twister. And stuff like that. There are specialists that will, like specialists with cooks that will like make certain recipes that can only be made through those specific specialists and those types of things. So there is definitely an end game need to go out and go get crafters, especially if you want like really strong crafted end game weapons that can basically, with good modifications, can be better than even some legendary weapons. But I believed that's been fixed with Age of War, because I know there are some legendary weapons out there that are just insane amount of damage now. Like I saw a greatsword that had like 90 something damage, and it was like a legendary greatsword. As far as I'm aware, you can't get that high with a crafted weapon, even with the damage increase from the actual legendary blacksmith, as well as the damage modification from modifying, which we'll get into in a later episode. And as you can see, we have our first exile. We have our first fighter. Now, I'm not going to use him because I'm not a big fan of using the exiles. I just wanted to show you how it worked. And I'm probably going to go straight for like a black hand here soon. So I have something a little bit more durable than him, and then work our way up through there. And I will show you guys how to do that later. Okay, but I will bring him along strictly for, let me get his gear off of him here real quick. Luckily, my nudist mod is, or my nudist settings are back to normal, so you guys don't have to see a schlong. I am going to gear him up and give him a weapon here real quick, just so he can be a little bit of a pack meal for me, because we are going to go out and go get some animals. So let me get him dressed in something a little bit more durable and get him a weapon. I'm also going to give him the gruel from here, because this will give him the best healing. Some certain foods in the game will also affect their stats. As you can see, he's got the little fist bump and the little healing symbol. So if I go up here to the status and I click on it, you can see that with Gruel, he gets a 14% boost to his strength per level. All right. So Thralls have 20 levels by default in the game. So I would say every 5, but once you get to 10, every 5 levels, they have a chance to learn, not a chance, they will learn a new, like a perk. Not all perks are great, especially if you're building like a, you know, let's say you're building like a defensive Thrall that has like high grit with high vitality, but doesn't do a lot of damage. Like he's specifically designed to do, like, to take a beating and be able to hold out. You're going to want perks that specifically, you know, work with vitality and grit, because you're going to want him to have as much armor and vitality as possible, because you're like, I want a defensive boss Thrall that can go in and take a beating and be able to out heal the boss's damage with good food. Well, in that case, you're going to want a defensive, you're going to want a paladin or a gladiator style Thrall. Or maybe you want a berserker style that's just full-blown vitality and strength, and they run in and they have like no armor for crap, but they've got the vitality to back it up, and they hit like a freaking freight train and they just destroy stuff in seconds. Then you're going to want traits specific for that. And if you don't get the traits you want, well, there is a potion for it. And it's part of sorcery, which we'll cover that eventually. All right, so for now, I will bring you guys back once I have him geared up. We got him geared up. Now, I did give him the Aquilonian infantry armor, which is basically medium armor that has a vitality boost. So he has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So an extra 100 health to start with. I also upgraded him to the two-handed iron great axe, so he has at least better damage than that stone spear. Now, he's not going to be the greatest, but he will suffice. So I'm going to have him follow us so we can get him leveled up, as well as use him as a pack mule for some stuff. Now, it is dawn. I did wait until the sun came up because it would have been pointless to start at nighttime, but yeah. All right, so now for animals. There's a couple of different animals you can get early game. First, there's the useless ones like the deer and stuff like that, which are just glorified pack mule animals. Or you can go for DPS animals like the hyena. You can get gators. You can get all kinds of stuff. But I think what I'm going to go for is I'm going to grab a shellback baby, maybe a hyena baby, and a fawn. And I will show you how all those work in the animal pen and go from there. So just gonna head down the beach here real quick. Oh, look, there's that NPC that or was that the gator? Oh, her legs are gone. I didn't do that. Yep, the gators came back and killed a bunch of people. And now he's dead. All right, and the gator's dead. All right, well, you know what? Gator's dead. I actually do need some more hide again because, yeah, we burned through a lot making his armor. All right, there we go. Get rid of this stuff. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of this stone and that because it's weighing me down. All right, so I'm just going to come right over here, and there should be some shellback babies. Now, luckily, unless it's a red shellback, you can just walk up and grab the babies, and then they'll attack you. But if there's a red shellback, you probably want to deal with these guys first. Let's see how much this guy does. There we go. He's not doing too bad. Finish your job. There we go. All right, hey, got a little bit of health. Or maybe he didn't. I can't tell. All right. Now I'm going to go in here. I'm going to cut these guys up. Get this hide here real quick. Now, one of the baby shellbacks took off. I don't know where he went. But we got one. That's good enough. So I'm going to bring it up here. I'm going to give it to him because that's just extra weight. Get rid of that. And we're going to move on. Okay. So next, I want to try to grab a fawn. Now, if you're not familiar with the word fawn, it means baby deer. Okay. So you're going to look for a baby deer. Now, they are pretty much the equivalent of every other creature, minus the fact that they don't do damage for crap. There's some more babies. Shellbacks are your tanky. They're kind of like your frontline tanked creatures. Oh, I thought he was in combat mode. I was like, no, 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 no. Actually, you know what? We're going to do the hyena baby first because that's actually right here. Why are you fighting? I forgot to turn him off.
Die! Taste death! Curse you!
Alright. I'm going to turn him off. We're going to not turn him off. We're going to go to behavior. No, engagement. We're going to put him on guard me, so he'll only attack if something attacks me. Alright. So we're going to cross this river. Come over here where the sentinel is, and if you come right over here, if you look right there, we gotta deal with the gator first.
You picked the wrong.
All right, get rid of the gator. All right. So you see right there, that's a baby hyena, and there's actually 2 of them here. They are guaranteed spawns. Guaranteed spawns. So I'm just gonna run over here. I'm gonna try to grab one of them before they bolt. There we go. And then we're gonna deal with Mama and Papa here real quick. There we go. They are gone. He leveled up again and finally got some health. So there's your spotted hyena whelp. There are also striped hyena whelps as well. And there you go. And then the baby ran off somewhere over there, down there. I don't know. He took off that way. All right. Moving on. Okay. Next, we're going to go grab ourselves a baby fawn, baby deer, a fawn, a foon, a fane, a fine. Let me eat real quick. There we go. Get my food up. Reason why I use this upper path is just to avoid the hyena down below. All right. Now there should be, if I remember correctly, there should be a couple of babies over here. Don't think there were any up here. I know there are hyenas and some hyena pups up there as well, but we're not going to go for those just yet. We do need to grab some of this, though. Let's grab some aloe real quick on our way through. Got a gator. There we go. Now, there are some baby crocodiles that could spawn right here, but I don't see them right now. Unless they remove them. I'm not seeing them right now. There we go. Oh, a red one saw us. We're gonna have to deal with it because he'll follow us all the way to Kingdom Come.
Curse you!
There we go. All right, so right over here in this area, right about here, there should be some fawns. So that's an adult, and there's a baby right there. And we're gonna run up, we're gonna grab it. Boop, got it. And then we'll give it to him. All right, and there we go. We've got those 3. Now, the next thing on my list is I want to go grab a baby foal, which is basically the baby horse. Now, for that, we're going to have to travel a little bit further. So the closest ones that you can get to are going to be over here, okay? The closest ones are not here. They are... Are they here? Yeah, they're here. They're on this island right here. These are the closest ones. Now, if you're old school and you're returning, they used to remember that there used to be some here and here that you could get. Well, those were removed. They're no longer here and here. They're here and here. Okay? They are no longer... This is the closest to the southern part of the map you can find them, is right here. And then after that, it's up here. So for your baby horse. So we're going to head over there. So I'm just going to cut and jump when we get over there, okay? Because it's going to take me a couple minutes to get there. okay, sorry. I had to bring us back because I found a white rabbit. So the wild hares, you can pick up the little white ones, and the white ones you can actually have as like house pets. So, you know, if you want a little rabbit's house pet, there you go. I got to keep my inventory a little light. The horse is going to be a little heavy. So yeah, because I can't give it to him because he's got his food and his weapon on him. All right, so I'll see you guys there. Sorry, just had to bring you back for that. All right, we're here, and I see my first one right there. So as you can see, I'm right here on this island, right here at about, what is that, 6J on this little island right here. And as I look straight across, I can see my first foal. There's another one right there in front of me. So we're gonna run up. As you can see, we're gonna grab it, and we got a swift one. I don't think I have the carry weight to grab the second one. Which, there he is. Now, I believe there's 3 different types still. There's swift, tough, and or sturdy, or swift, sturdy, and tough, something like that. I can't remember if there's any like major difference between them anymore. Now, babies do have a timer, so you do need to put them either in a thrall pot or feeder if you don't have a refrigerator, because they will spoil after 24 hours. All right. Yeah, I don't have the weight for both of these, so I am just going to just get rid of the sturdy. I want to keep that one. And yeah, I am going to head on back to base, and I will see you guys when we get there. Chances are it's probably going to be close to dark. All right, we are back at base. It took me a little while to get here. I also had to go AFK for a few minutes. It is starting to become nighttime right now, so I do have the horse and the shellback in my inventory. So I'm going to show you guys what you're supposed to do. I do have a little bit of a issue. I've got some trees growing through these because I don't have any foundations nearby. But you're going to take your horse, you're just going to put it in there like that, and then you're going to take some fiber, drop it in there, and boom, there you go. Your horse is taming. Now you could use, I believe it's the berries, the river berries, the wild bush berries that you can find right around here is when they start popping up. Those will actually give you the best chance to get good stats, but honestly, you're better off just use some fiber. It's not a big deal. And then for these guys, I believe it is the bush berries is their favorite food. But we're just going to give them fiber and see what happens. Now, there are 3 variants of the shellback. There is the normal one, then there's kind of like the red one, and then there's the greater one. So, you know, you see the green shellbacks that are around the map. There are, oh god, trying to think. There are the green ones and the red ones that you normally see, and then there's a boss one called Koopa, or I call him Koopa, but the greater version of the shellback is the model of the Koopa, and that's where you find him. Now these are going by really quickly because, again, like I said, they increase taming for Age of War, so you don't have to sit around. Like if you're playing offline, you don't have to feel like you're cheating, but at the same time, if you're playing PvP online, you can actually get yourself thralls and mounts and beasts and stuff like that very quickly now, where you can get right back into the game without having to sit around and wait days and hopefully nobody steals your stuff or kills it. All right, so I'm going to get all of this stuff raised up. I'm going to also try to get this stuff raised up. My goal is to get the greater hyena as well as the greater shellback, and I will bring you guys back once I hopefully have them. I can't guarantee that I will. We'll see what happens after like an hour, since the taming process is pretty quick now. I'm sitting here trying to kill my little Shiamite exile right here for some reason, but whatever. And see what happens. So I'll bring you guys back as soon as I feel like I've given up or we've gotten lucky. All right, guys, we're back. I'm done trying. Okay, a little disclaimer here, or I should say a little, not disclaimer, but a little bit of transparency. I did have to spawn in the greater versions of the hyena and the shellback just so I can show you them. I did like 3 or 4 batches. Now I did build an actual animal pen because obviously it would have taken too long for me to do it off the small one. But if you're building a compact base and you don't really care about waiting the 10-15 minutes to do taming now, then you can just do one at a time and keep it nice and small and compact. And I got that stupid ticking sound because my campfire was crafting. So anyways, this is the gazelle from the baby fawn, the baby fawn. As you can see, it doesn't have much in the sense of health, but it has a really good carry capacity. So if you're really hurting for that early game carry capacity, and you don't have a like a tier 3 or a tier 4 thrall yet, a bearer, then the full, or the deer is just really good. The gazelle specifically is really good. You just got to level it up a little bit and try to keep it out of harm's way, and it can carry a lot of stuff for you, at least until you can get yourself a pack rhino or something like that. And then the horse finished, it did come out as a painted variant. It does have 4,100, roughly 4,200 health, pretty much standard starting armor. But they can end up with anywhere between 8,000 to 15,000 health. It really depends on the luck of the draw, the roll, which they're leveling up, and their stats. And then over here, all right. So this is it. This is them. So you've got your lesser shellback right here. So with 152 health, nothing too crazy in the form of stats on it. As you can see, this actually one has 100% into grit, which is really good for a shellback. That's what you're looking for, since these guys are considered the tanks of the animal world. They have extremely high grit, making them like they start off, their armor bonus is insane here. And as you can see, this was like my 4th batch, and it just, yeah, another batch of duds. Next up from this is the tier 2 shellback, which 238 health. And you can go into its settings. As you can see, this one, not so much great on the armor pen for this one, but it also got a really good bad draw on the grit, or on the, a little bit lower on the grit than the other one, but got much higher vitality. And then the greater variant, which has just shy of 2,000 health. As you can see right off the back, he has 100%, which is really good into grit. He starts off with an additional boost, as well as an additional giant health boost. He has a strength boost already. He is leaps and bounds better than his counterpart. So he has almost 200 armor. He has more armor than I do right now. So these guys, if trained right, and they already naturally have good defense against attacks. Like even if like his 200 is like the equivalent of like 600 or 800 for a human in armor, it's insane. And then you've got your hyena, your spotted hyena right here. As you can see, not much in the way of health or armor. Stat wise, he starts off with more towards vitality and strength, no great bonuses. And then the greater hyena, which there are tons of skins for in the game. This one actually got really bad strength roll, but got an amazing grit roll. And he already starts off with a high amount of grit, so he has almost 300 armor. 331 armor. I can tell you right now, his 331 armor doesn't even come close to the amount of that he gets. Like, even though that's 179, they are not created equally. Like, him taking damage versus him taking damage is night and day difference. Shellbacks are all about defense and health, where hyenas are all about the speed of the attack. And they don't really have the greatest health pool either. Even though that is 1,000 to start off with, it doesn't really go up much after this. Like, I think the highest I've had is like 2,000 health on a greater hyena, or at least, you know, a skinned version of it. And that's about it. And then of course we got our horse and our gazelle over there, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is taming in a nutshell in Conan. So you just stick them in the animal pen, put their food in there, their favorite food, there's, you know, you can always look up on wiki what has the highest chance of chance at getting a greater pet, and then you just keep rolling the dice and hopefully you get something. Obviously with tougher thralls, you're going to, you know, have, like with them, you just put gruel in. It doesn't affect them whatsoever. They come out with the same stats whether you give them gruel or you give them a feast. Same with your horses, gruel or feast, you know, just give them fiber. And yeah, there you go. Well, hopefully this guide was informational for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit a thumbs up. And let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions at all, don't forget to ask. Remember to be respectful. And if you have any suggestions for a guide that you guys would like me to do in the future, or, you know, to elaborate on something a little bit more in depth as a more standalone guide, please don't hesitate to ask. The more stuff you guys give me for ideas, the more I can put out. Anyways, take care and good luck.